Come on, Netty, so.
Well, another heavy shower here at Ayr. Incidentally, in the first race, jockeys were saying it was quite hard work, so quite tacky ground is what I'm hearing, and that included from the winning jockey Sean Bowen. This is a Grand National Handicap chase, the Coral Scottish Grand National Handicap chase, booked now for. It's over 2 miles, and this is number 1, Netywell, lightly raced 6-year-old who made most of the running when scoring over course and distance on heavy ground last time. He's been well beaten prior to that in a couple of chases and a handicap hurdle beforehand, but that was before that course and distance win here, and he's an interesting contender. Both wins, incidentally, over hurdles and over fences, have come in heavy ground, so the more rain the better for number 1, Netywell. We can drop back to number 2, Ritson, for Aaron Anderson and Rebecca Menzies. Ritson was a winner last time.
Alright, how are we doing? Good to see you all, alright? How are we doing? Good?
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
Hearing about your accent.
What are you thinking?
You all right?
It's very competitive. There's loads of speed. There's about 5 of them going to go forward. I was going to line up with them, probably give him a bit of room. I think the last day I was in front and he had room, and I think he probably... Ideally, I'd like to be in front, but I wouldn't like to rush him or do anything daft. I think I'll line up with him with a bit of room, and almost, if I'm not in front, leave him with a bit of room rather than being in behind him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If I can't be in front, I'll try and maybe stick out in the middle and almost pretend I'm in front and just have my own room sort of thing.
I feel, stupid. He's on the edge of a little too fresh, if I think.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that when he sees a fence, he does that.
That's
which
it.
he does. So
Yeah.
Ride him forward.
Yeah.
And after that,
Like
I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah, because
I just think we are. But he has to learn. I believe he's capable of going up through these levels. He has to learn to race.
That's it. Yeah. Like Ardira Cross is a handicapper, and he's a hardy handicapper that goes hard off the front.
Yeah.
You could take him on, but I don't think it's what to do with the horse. So I'll line up with them and I'll stick towards the middle and I'll just give him his room. All right?
Okay, Stuart.
Lovely. Cheers. Thank you.
Good luck anyway.
To be honest, Netywell, lightly raced, still a bit of potential, I think. Ritson, can the improvement continue after that win at Newcastle last time? Rocker Storm's in fantastic form. I think it's a really tricky open race as well. It's one of those qualifiers for the Go North one-man series as well, and we mentioned Rocco Storm, who's up in class here today. That's Netywell going down to post for Lucinda Russell, of course, still basking in the glory of Ahoy's and Muir winning at Cheltenham on Saturday. She's here with her partner Peter Scudamore, and the County Set 5, who have Netywell. They've had some really good horses going down through this. That's a syndicate that certainly have enjoyed a fair bit of success. He won on heavy ground here at the most recent meeting at Ayr. It was on the 9th of January. Duty Calls, one of today's rivals, as we've just seen in the paddock, was well beaten back in third place. And Netywell was a novice handicap, and that was his first win in 3 starts. He has gone up a fair bit in the weights. He won off 105, and he's racing £7 higher here this afternoon. He did admittedly win by 6.5 lengths, so I suppose that isn't too harsh. Before that, though, he'd been running only moderately. Couple of runs over hurdles and one over fences this season before that course and distance success. And I think maybe the key's the ground. So the rain that's been coming will certainly make it even softer, even though most of the jockeys, the winning jockey included in the first race, said that it's on the tacky side. I think I heard Brian Hughes saying it was hard work. And 75 the first win, and he's now racing off 103, and he might well continue on the upgrade this afternoon. Let's go back to Tomo then for race 2.
So here we go in the book, the Coral Scottish Grand National Handicap Chase, and 9 runners going a real good clip as they go towards the first. Dira Cross, the old-timer on the inside. Up on the outside, it's Netywell, and just behind these is the grey Travail d'Orfèvre. Then in the orange colours, we've got Ritson. These are the 4 at the head of affairs as they come into the home straight for the first time towards the first of the 12 fences. They'll all hopefully be jumping. Here they come and jump the first. Idira Cross gives them a good lead over that, and they're all safely over the first. The back marker early on is Duty Calls. Short run now towards fence number 2. Idira Cross, Derek Fox, taking them along at a good clip here. In second place in the white and red is Netywell. On the inside in the cheek pieces, that's Lake Takapuna and Brian Hughes. Behind this one, we've got the grey Travail d'Orfèvre. Keeping that company in the red and white stripes is Hollybank King, and then the orange colours of Ritson as they jump the next. All safely over, coming towards what will be the last next time round. It's fence number 4 of the 12. And up front, Idira Cross takes them along. Jumped that really well. Gave that 5 foot to spare. So passing the stands with a complete circuit to run. Idira Cross is in the lead. The grey Travail d'Orfèvre just disputing second. The white-red sleeves, Netywell. Up on the outside, Ritson. Then on the inside, in the pink and blue, the grey Lake Takapuna. On the inside, Lake Takapuna with those cheek pieces. Then the red and white with the cheek pieces, that's Hollybank King. The cross belts, the green cross belts of Judy Calls. On the outside of that one, we have got the blue sleeves just on the outside of that one. And on the in the back marker, that one there is Ingleby Mackenzie. So into the back straight they go. And going to bypass the normal first fence, so there's just 4 down the far side as they go towards fence number 5. Here they go into it as they go towards it. The leader in the light blue with the red. The horse who's won 15 times, Idira Cross, enjoying himself out there in the lead. Travail d'Orfèvre is second. On the inside in the cheek pieces, Lake Takapuna. That's the 1, 2, 3 as they come and jump the first on the far side. All safely over that. Yes, towards the rear at this stage we've got Judy Calls, also towards the outside Netywell, also towards the rear Rocco Storm at this stage. Oh, just got a bit of argy-bargy there, but all okay. So continuing the run down the far side. And up front, no change in the order. It is still the old-timer enjoying himself, Idira Cross. One who's struggling just a little bit towards the rear is Judy Calls. He's the only one adrift, but the rest of them tightly grouped. The grey Travail d'Orfèvre is right there, the orange Ritson, and towards the outside we've got Rocco Storm, who's now made ground to go 4th. 5th on the inside in those cheek pieces and sheepskin noseband. That's Lake Takapuna, the red and white stripes of Hollybank King. As they make the bend out of the back straight in this book, the Coral Scottish Grand National Handicap Chase. And look at this, plenty in with chances here as they come back towards us. They've got 4 left to jump. And up front on the inside we've got Idira Cross, but the grey coming to challenge is Travail d'Orfèvre.
Distance form with Netywell to finish in 3rd place, and disappointing runs from the likes of Ritson and Rocco Storm, and indeed Netywell. I don't know what, I mean, it looked as if at one point Rockestone was going to play a hand in the finish, but that didn't materialise. You can see him with the cheek pieces there as we take the head on. Already having dropped out of contention and not finding anything under pressure, Netywell. You can see one there pulling up. That's Hollybank King, the Irish raider, being pulled up. And the other disappointment in the race, Ritson, you can see well out the back, and that's a below par effort from him as well. But as we take the closing stages, Brian Hughes certainly knows where the winner's enclosure is at Ayr. He knows where the winning post is, more importantly, as well. Probably finishing in 4th place in the end, Netywell, but some way behind the winner, and indeed some way behind Duty Calls, who was third to him here last time over course and distance.
Yeah, better than the Bear result, I would say, because he really doesn't actually properly know how to race. You know, he jumps out and he runs with the choke out, and then going down the back he got crowded and kind of half panicked and backed out of it, and I had to sit in him and let him come round it again. And when he's got a bit of light, he's actually kept galloping, and I thought turning in I was very wide, but he was going forward. Yeah. He's actually galloped right out to the line. He goes through the race in snatches, you know, he jumps off and he goes hard, and then turning down the back he panics because they come round him, and if you were to pick him up he probably wouldn't get home, you know what I mean? But that was, I think, even though he was 4th, it's actually not a bad run.
Good as really run, really.
I would nearly say it is, because the day he ran he got it lovely and easy in front, didn't he? He was hassled the whole way up here and down the back. Alright? That's it, yeah. Alright? Thank you. Cheers.